The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Henderson, Nevada, on your new fire apparatus, job number 30772. Please utilize this job number when referencing your apparatus with Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting on the front bumper on the right and left side, you have electronic sirens. Moving just inward of that location, you have dual air horns. You also have a pull-down double-latched front bumper to gain access into the front load. Up onto the top, you have a fire bell. Moving to the driver's side, you'll find your mechanical siren. Moving up onto the body of the apparatus, you'll find your turn indicators. Just inside from that, you'll find your high beam and low beams. Just up from that location on the body, you'll find a red, blue, white flashing emergency warning lights. You'll also find your dual mirrors. At the very top, you'll find your running lights. At the very top of the apparatus, located on the top, you'll find your electronic light bar. And just in the front, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those areas as a close-up. As you can see, the floodlight in the front, just above that, your opticom. Moving to the side, you'll find your low and high beam on the inner section, low beam on the outer section. On the side of the bumper, you'll find emergency warning lights. Also located on the side, this is on the passenger side, you'll find an emergency warning light, in addition with an access door. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front bumper area. You'll find your electronic siren on the outer edge. Just inside from that, you'll find your air horn. Located in the center, you'll find these two latches. Once they have been released, this will fold down to gain access inside to your front bumper load. Inside this area, you'll find your front discharge, which is foam and water capable. There is an 1.5 inch diameter discharge location in this spot. Moving underneath the apparatus, you'll find on the right and left hand side in the front tow attachment points. Looking up onto the side of the body, this is going to be your mirror. On the mirror face itself, you'll find at the very bottom a convex area, and at the top a flat portion. Those are controlled with inside the cab. Back to the passenger side, you'll find this access door. Once the access door has been opened, this is the location of your cab lift. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus. Moving down to the tire, you'll find your Goodyear tires, in addition with your Alcoa wheels, and in the center a visual indicator for your stem for fluid within the hub. Also located on this side, you'll find your shore inlet and air conditioner inlet, a 20 amp plug auto eject. On the side of the apparatus, you'll find your telescoping floodlights. We'll take a generalized look here at the side, including the pump panel. We'll talk about some of those components next. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner behind the webbing. This is the location for your crossloads. As we look at those crossloads, you'll find yellow indicating number 1 crosslay, and in white, number 2 crosslay. There's also in the center a warning label regarding entanglement. Those hoses are attached to the apparatus and therefore can cause entanglement. Starting in the upper left-hand corner, you'll find 3 indicators. First, the check transmission at the top, check engine, those are both amber colors, and just beneath that, stop engine in red. Moving over to the very center area, you'll find your master pump intake. Moving just to the right of that, you'll find your master pump discharge. And beneath that, or just between the two, you'll find 2 ports, one for vacuum and one for pressure, and these are test ports. Moving down to the left here in the red area, you'll find your Foam Pro system. Moving to the right of that, you'll find the control module for the Foam Pro and also your Foam A indicator level for the tank. Moving just to the right of that, you'll find first at the top your transmission temperature, and just beneath that a readout for pump hours. Moving to the right, you'll find your Pierce Master Control Center.
This provides a tremendous amount of information at the touch of your finger. Moving just to the right of that in the gray area, you'll find your pump boss. This has some additional information for check engine and stop engine. This is also location for your throttle control and pressure. To the right of that, you'll find an audible alarm. Moving further to the right, you'll find a pump panel light, also your pump engaged indicator and an air horn. Further to the right, you'll find a recirculating line and engine cooler. Those are twist, not pull. Moving further down from that location, you'll find your Tank Vision Pro, which is your water tank indicator for how much water is in the tank. You'll also find your tank to pump and refill. Moving in the upper left-hand corner, this is a Acron wheel valve. Moving further to the right is your maintenance schedule for Pierce for 150, 200, and 250 psi. Just down from that, a warning indicating regarding the use of your owner's manual. Further to the right, you'll find an additional warning for pressurized caps and cautions when removing those caps. Down in the center, you'll find your large diameter intake. Moving further to the very left-hand side, you'll find your 2.5-inch auxiliary intake. Moving just to the right of that, you'll find an air chuck. And down at the very bottom, you'll find a variety of different drain valves. They are all color-coded and labeled to each individual discharge. Down in the very bottom, you'll find this tub well for hose storage in addition with 2 belts for securing it. There is also a step located on the very bottom section under the pump panel. As we move to the far right, you'll find your drain. You'll also find fold-down steps here to gain access to the top of your apparatus. As we move down to the very bottom in the front and aft of the wheel, you'll find your folding wheel chocks. Just to the rear of the wheel, you'll find a 20-amp outlet. Let's move back up to the left-hand side above the marker. You'll find this compartment door, which is a location for bottle storage. There are 3 bottle storage locations here for SCBAs, in addition with tethered straps for safety. Moving just to the rear of that location, you'll find the same concept compartment door, although behind it, slightly different. This houses bottle storage in addition with your DEF and also your ultra low sulfur fuel. Let's go ahead and take a look behind this compartment door. It's a 2-pull door. Once it's open, you'll find in the upper left-hand corner, this is going to be your onboard battery charger. We'll start in the upper left-hand corner of this compartment. This is your auto charger 1200. This is powered when it is plugged into shore power. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find your main breaker box panel. Also moving to the right, this is going to be your generator information for starting and stopping, in addition with engine generator hours. Just underneath that, you'll find your G1, which is for generator. These are the associated plugs for that. Moving to the right-hand side, this is your S1 panel for shore power. We'll now go ahead and pull back and look at the components on the body of your apparatus. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see there is an emergency warning light, blue in color. Moving to the rear of the apparatus, there is a red emergency warning light and also a side-facing floodlight. Let's go ahead and move down to the next center compartment. This is a compartment door that lifts to the open upward position. Inside this compartment, you can see there is a fixed adjustable shelf. Moving further to the very back compartment, once again a double open door. Access the first door. Inside is the second latch. This compartment houses at the very top an adjustable fixed compartment and a pull-out compartment. At the very bottom, you'll find a black push-down lever, which allows you to access the roll-out compartment. This is in the full open position. As we move around to the rear of the apparatus, we'll talk about some of the components within the rear section of your apparatus next. Starting in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a dual-function blue and white light in addition with a red warning light. Down in the left-hand corner, you'll find your turn, brake, reverse, and an emergency warning light, in addition with your hose bed lights and rear scene lights, in addition with a fall hazard label regarding the standing on the apparatus while in motion. Same setup on the opposite side of the vehicle. Moving up to the compartment here, this is going to be your ladder storage compartment. Once accessed inside, this is the location of your 24-foot roofer, 14-foot roof, and also long tool storage. Just above this, you'll find your traffic advisor and also your backup camera. Moving further to the left-hand side, you'll find a 2.5-inch discharge. In addition, with a storage location here, there is your 10-foot folding and also, once again, 2 locations for long pole storage. Looking at the very top, you have a lift-up full-width compartment here. Located in this, you'll find a multi-use ladder, in addition with the possibility of long or board storage. Just inside the area for the hose, you'll find a 2.5-inch pre-connect. There are 2 of those located on the right and left, and also a compartment door here, which we'll gain access into next. Once this is open, you'll find additional storage location and also some tools at the very bottom. Let's go ahead and move to the top of the apparatus. There are storage locations on both the right and left-hand side of the apparatus, in addition with warning tape regarding the edge of the apparatus. You have a full covered hose bed cover. In addition, at the very bottom of your apparatus, these pull-out style steps and also perimeter lighting. Let's move to the passenger side of the vehicle. As you can see, same layout as the driver's side. The red emergency warning light, in addition with side-facing floods. Same in the very front of the apparatus, you have a blue warning. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the compartments within this area. First, let's start with the compartment to the rear. Just behind the wheel, you'll find an additional access for electrical power here, 20 amp. In addition with a compartment, similar concept and layout on the other side. This is going to house that bottle storage location for 2 SCA bottles, in addition with an additional bottle storage location in the upper left. Moving just forward of that, this is going to be just front of the, or just in front of the rear tire. Same concept. You have 2 bottle storage locations, in addition with a 3rd bottle storage location at the very top. Down at the very bottom of the apparatus, you'll find your 2 exhausts, one for your generator and also one for your main apparatus. Let's start with the rear compartment door. Once that compartment door is opened, you'll find a adjustable shelf at the very top at a current fixed location and one just slightly lower than that one. Moving to the center compartment here, once again, this is a lift pull out style concept door or fly out door. This has an adjustable shelf in the very center, and in the upper right hand corner, you'll also find, when plugged into shore power, an outlet here, which is a 20 amp outlet. As we move forward to the next compartment, this compartment door also houses your exhaust warning label regarding the use of standing next to that exhaust and also the extreme heat temperatures of the exhaust. In this compartment, you can see that there is plenty of storage. Moving forward of that, we'll find your main section of your pump panel. As we look at this, you can see at the very top, we'll cover some of the components here. First, we're referencing in this location here, there is an access door, which is your foam drain. Also in this location is the internal relief valve pressure. Generalized view here, as you look in the upper corner, you'll find an additional access door here to gain access behind the pump panel. Moving up to the very top, you can see the vented area for your onboard generator. Moving to the right, this is the same configuration as the opposite side for your crosslay, number 1 and number 2 crosslay. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus will cover some of the components within this area. Starting as the same concept as the opposite side with your pole style adjustable light. Just beneath that, you'll find an emergency warning light in blue. As we move to the top of the apparatus, the location for your deluge system, in addition with your Onan generator. In the blue section here is your water tank. In the green is your tank A for foam. You also have a locked style crossbed cover. Currently, you can see the yellow tape here around the outer edge for indicating for walking in that area. Also on the main portion of the cab, you'll find this device. This is to allow you to open and maintain your compartment for crosslays. This will allow that to remain in the open or up position. At the very top, you can see that there are 2 step indicators indicating not to step on the roof area. Generalized view here of the entire top of your covered hose bed cover. Once again, focusing on that warning for no step area. As we move to the side of your apparatus, we're currently displaying the steps in the downward position. As you can see on the left-hand side of the door, there is also a warning label regarding the use of seat belts. There's a location at every entry point indicating the use of fall protection and also seat belts for all access doors. As we looked in the rear compartment here, you can see the center mounted compartment with access both on the right and left-hand side. There's also storage underneath, and those compartments all are illuminated for lighting in the evening. As we move to the very top of this compartment, you'll also find that it has a shore power outlet with inside. These are your fold down seats. As you can see, here's that 12-volt access at the very top and then shore power outlet on the wall. These are convenient roll-up doors, easily accessible. On the very top, between the two jump seats here in the very front of your apparatus, you can see there additional storage here. And also underneath in that same compartment, there's also floor storage. Looking overhead of your apparatus, you can find your David Clark headset system in addition with overhead speakers. This is the multi-port connection for your David Clark headset system. And as we move further down, this is just inside that compartment between the two jump seats or SCBA seats. Looking just on top of this, looking for a generalized view here, let's talk about the compartment on the right-hand side here. Once that cover is opened, you can see here covered. Once that compartment is open, this is the access door for daily checks for your oil transmission. This compartment also has a light with inside it that can be turned on through a push-on, push-off. So these are your daily checks locations here. As we move just to the left of this compartment, you'll find your fuse compartment. Let's go ahead and pull back now outside of the apparatus. We're now looking at the passenger side door. Once again, you have safety warning labels on the right-hand side. Steps fully deployed, you can see here. As we move just inside the cab of your apparatus here, underneath the passenger seat, you'll find an additional access storage location. Looking to the very front, this is going to be your bell rope, which controls the bell on the front of your apparatus. Located in the center, you'll find your computer access location. This is a swivel device, multi-adjustable. Overhead, you'll find your unit radio in addition with a stereo system. Moving down to the right-hand side, you'll find additional map light. Moving to the very center, once the computer is moved from that location, you'll find additional resource storage. In the very center of your apparatus, you'll find this do not move apparatus when the light is on, indicating that you have a compartment, a door ajar. You also have overhead David Clark system and your main unit radio. Looking from the driver's side, let's go ahead and access this compartment, talk a little bit about some of the components here. Starting first on the upper left-hand corner of the door, you'll find those warning labels. Please seek those information. Also located is a warning device here when your door is open. Just underneath, you'll find cab lights and door lights. Moving just inside, you'll find your auto status system, air inlet, air step pressures, and also a switch which will allow you to turn off the compressor for your air steps. This is the air inlet chuck in addition with an air step pressure. Moving just to the left, this is going to be at foot level. This is your auto charge status system when plugged into shore power. Moving just forward to that location, you'll find 2 foot pedals for your air horn and mechanical siren. Also located in this area is your Pierce information regarding your VIN, gross vehicle weights, and also information for fluids. Moving to the left-hand side, your main battery switch in red and your pump shift indicator. Moving up to the top, you'll find your panel dim, headlights, ignition, and start switch. Onto the main dash, all components are clearly labeled in this location. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll find a label regarding the height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating in addition with your job number. On the right-hand side steering column area, you'll find your window controls. Moving to the right, you'll find an annunciator on the right-hand side, visual indicator for engine information, climate control, all of your switches regarding on the left-hand side, and also your traffic advisor. Moving down to about knee height, you'll find your Allison transmission pad with an indication of pump and drive. Up on the very top, you'll find your climate control for inside the cab. Moving down from that location, you'll find your DPF regen inhibit in red, your off-road traction, mirror heat, engine brake on and off, and also high, medium, and low for your engine brake. Just down from that, you'll find the controls here for high, off, or low for the traffic advisor. Moving further to the right, you'll find your Pierce Command Center. Once again, a tremendous amount of information here to gather on your engine and also seating. Moving just to the right-hand side, we're going to find your parking brake. This is pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. As we look further down, you'll find your generator start-stop with instructions just beneath that. Your 120-volt manual transfer. You also have your front flood, driver side flood, and passenger side flood controls. There's also on the very far right a future location if you choose to add additional switch. Moving just backwards, these are the instructions here for the operation of your generator. And moving further to the right, you'll find your flat mirror control and also the convex mirror control for both the left and right, and also a cup holder. Looking backward to the rear of the apparatus, you'll find your air conditioning unit, your compartment, and also two of the indicator lights for turning the cab lights with inside that area, and also a compartment access door. Congratulations, Henderson, Nevada, on your new apparatus, job number 30772. If you have any discrepancies within this video, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative for more information and clarification. Thank you and congratulations on your new apparatus.